Good morning from the Stealth Mobile. It's currently Tuesday, start of another day on this wonderful adventure, and we've got a whole nother set of things to see today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to switch this thing back over to drive mode so that we can drive, and then we're going to go ahead and get on our way. So let's do that real quick. Back to drive mode. Let's go and type a few loose ends and then get on out of here. Just as I was starting to get my breakfast out here, it started to rain a little bit, so looks like we're going to be dealing with some early rainfall on this drive after taking a look at the radar. So we'll pick our way through those showers and go from there, but we're going to eat our breakfast and then get on the road.
Oh, if only he knew that rain would be the least of his worries. Oh well, back to the video.
Got our OG breakfast right here that we're about to dig into. As a very wise man once said, kiss. And no, not the display of affection or the rock band. No, that's an acronym. You know what it stands for? Keep it simple, stupid. Well, Jack's again. It's just my lucky day. Stopped off here on the side of the road real quick to take some pictures and just look at this terrain, man. This is awesome. And with the sky looking the way it does, oh wow. It's windier than Wrigley Field in April out here. Let's get back in the car. Although eastern Colorado doesn't get the same fanfare as the western part of the state with the Rockies, it's definitely cool driving through. I mean, other than the fact there's not a whole lot of traffic, there's cool little towns, and the terrain is, different than the Rockies, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, we got cool mountains, there's lots of cow fields. It's pretty easy to drive through, and I like it. It's nice to me. It's cool to check out parts of states that aren't visited or aren't talked about a lot, and actually we're going to get into more of that here in just a moment, where we're going to visit a state that definitely doesn't get a whole lot of notoriety, and in fact probably gets a bad rap, worse than it deserves. I'm about to pull on to Interstate 76 here, and what's interesting about that is that with the way the interstate numbering grid works, there's actually two Interstate 76s. There's one back east, so I'm a geography nerd, so if something like that interests you, then that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's two Interstate 76s, and there's a few other interstates that have two of them as well, but let's go ahead and put the hammer down.
Dang, he really did miss the opportunity to make this reference. Oh well.
Hello, Nebraska! This is what I was talking about earlier. I feel like Nebraska as a state gets a bad rap. Of course, it's a flyover state. That's what people talk about it as. But we're just going to see how cool Nebraska is. So let's go on a little adventure, shall we? Or a little sub-adventure to the adventure. Pulling on to Interstate 80 here. And I've actually never been on Interstate 80 yet. So, like I said, I'm a geography nerd, so this is pretty cool. One of my first observations about Nebraska is that it's beautiful, but it's very windy.
The wind was worth this picture, though.
I got all my sisters with me. We are family.
rolling into Scottsbluff, Nebraska. We're going to see a couple things here. They got a national monument, some Oregon Trail stuff. Chimney Rock is just down the road. And it's also the birthplace of Randy Meisner. If you know, you know. Roll the clip.
Which Eagles vocalist do you prefer? Glenn Frey, Don Henley, or Randy Meisner?
All jokes aside, let's see what old Scottsbluff has to offer.
Just a quick note from the editor here in post. For Scottsbluff National Monument and any of the other national parks and monuments that I visited along my trip, I did not obtain a commercial use filming permit for these locations. And for those of you that don't know, and this is a reminder for those of you that do, in October of 2022, the Supreme Court ruled that without a commercial use filming permit, you are not legally allowed to film in these locations for YouTube or any other site that could generate revenue. So because I did not obtain a permit, I will not be including video from those locations. I do not believe that there is a restriction on still photography. However, just out of an abundance of caution and to abide by the rules and regulations, I will not be including any still photography in my videos. I will say that Scottsbluff and all the other places that I visited were really awesome. I also went to Agate Fossil Beds. That was really cool too. So if you're ever in Nebraska or just traveling to that area, please check those places out. Although I won't be able to include them, there are pictures online, and I'm sure there are older videos that people have uploaded from those places. So please check those places out. Even though I can't include them in today's video, they are still worth visiting and checking out. They were really, really cool. So don't let that be a deterrent. But that's going to be the end of my note from the editor. So back to the video.
Well, the day is winding down here in Scottsbluff. I didn't film a whole lot today just because I couldn't film in the National Monument, and then we had some plans change. We tried to go to a campground, the Wildcat Recreation Area, which I'm sure is a pretty nice place to hang out, but I didn't feel comfortable taking my car down that road, and then the campground in this part that we're actually at is closed, so we decided to go to Culver's and had a nice meal, and now we're just hanging out waiting for the sun to go down so we can roll up on some inconspicuous, unsuspecting location that may or may not be a truck stop or a Walmart. So, but it's nice to come out to places like this, to come out to these public parks. You can get some nice nature. As you can see right here, we got a nice pond right here. And whenever you're car camping, it's kind of integral to have these places to come and hang out at. It's pretty nice to have like places like public parks that you can go to whenever you're car camping and you're kind of in between campsites, kind of staying at truck stops. Whenever you're like driving all day and getting somewhere at night, it doesn't matter. But whenever you're out doing things like in a city, there's going to be that weird in-between time where you're finished at whatever it is and it's closed, and maybe the sun's not exactly gone down yet, and maybe you just need some time to decompress a little bit, because when you're camping in a small car such as I am, it can be a little bit cramped and a little bit difficult, and even though you enjoy it, it makes you go crazy. So it's nice to have a nice little place where you can come, such as a public park, or you could probably even do this at like a national, like I probably could have hung out, although it's closed, I probably could have hung out at Scottsbluff National Monument for a little while, and then you can use that time to get yourself squared away and, you know, reorganize things in your car, and you just have your own space to do so. That's not like a business's parking lot that's gonna have people that get frustrated with you or come at you, or you just kind of do your own thing. So it's nice to have that before you go and get settled at whatever place you're going to, whether that's a parking lot or maybe it's a campsite, or maybe you're stealthing it. But the point about that I can't emphasize enough, is that there is no wrong way to do this. You could do it in a sedan, you could do it in a box truck. It doesn't matter. It's however you want to do it, however you choose to do it. There's no wrong way. So you might see someone out there building their big old setup, or someone like me just having a few things, odds and ends, maybe a couple luxuries, but still finding a way to make it work. And hey, I mean, my gas mileage doesn't suffer like some of those bigger rigs, so just know that however you want to do it and however you can do it, it's up to you. You don't have to go out there and buy some big old SUV or whatever. Just
however you want to do it, however you can. The car that I have, I bought it and didn't even have this in mind. It wasn't even a figment of my imagination. So when I started doing this, so you can do it any way you want. Alright, y'all, just hanging out here in the Stuffmobile, calling it tonight after watching a little baseball. We're settled down. It's going to be a little bit chilly tonight, so I broke out the big puffy sleeping bag, so hopefully we're going to be warm. Night, everybody.